Faith and belief in a higher power is a protective factor. It's a protective factor against ever falling into addiction in the first place. And it's also an indicator of a successful recovery from addiction. Let me explain here a little bit what I mean by faith. Now, the scientific literature, the psychological research will state that it's belief in a higher power, and it's an ambiguous term. For me, my belief in a higher power is God, is Christ Jesus. That is my higher power. It's pretty definite and definitive. It's biblical. But for others, it's the process of believing in something greater than themselves. So if you have faith in a power higher than yourself, something that is outside of yourself, is not contingent on you, then that constitutes faith in a higher power. So if you want to call that God or the universal intelligence, the universal mind field, whatever you want to call it, just have a belief in something greater than yourself. So the second reason why faith is so powerful in pulling you out of addiction is because faith and belief in God reduces uncertainty in life. Belief in a higher power gives cause and reason to things that are seemingly unreasonable. And this gives us a comfort. And having this comfort lets us move forward in life without fear of the unknown. And this is crucial not only for addiction and recovery, but for living a fruitful life in general. A third reason that faith can pull you out of addiction is that faith reduces and quells our fears and anxieties. So faith does this by offloading our anxieties and our fears to the power, the greater power outside of ourself. When we give up our concerns and our worries to something outside of ourself, an immutable higher force and power that can handle all of these human struggles, then that kind of takes the weight off of our shoulders, and we don't feel as if our concerns and our anxieties and our troubles are as great as we make them out to be in our mind. The fourth reason why faith will pull you out of your addiction is that willpower is a limiting factor. Willpower is drained whenever we exert our will, whenever we experience cognitive load. So cognitive load is cognitive or mental exertion. And then when we resist temptation, so when we resist our object of desire, which whether that is sex or lust or porn or alcohol or drugs or sweet cake, sugar, Cokes, Pepsi, we exercise our willpower. It's like a muscle, and we have a limited amount of will each day, and it's dependent on our levels of glucose, our sleep, and our reserve of dopamine. We have a reserve pool of dopamine that gets drained as we go throughout our day, and we replenish this pool of willpower and dopamine by eating, by resting, and doing things that we enjoy. So if willpower is a limited reserve, then we can only resist our temptation for so long, right? If you're locked in a room with your object of desire, how long is it going to take until you cave in and consume your object of desire? I don't know how long I could last. Faith is powerful because faith supersedes willpower. And this is probably the most powerful aspect of belief in a higher power, is that if we believe in a higher power, in God, in something greater than ourselves, then we can offload our willpower to resist the temptation to faith in God. So by believing that we're renewed by God or by the higher power, that it takes away our urge to use our object of desire, then we don't need to resist it anymore because the faith is replacing the desire to use. And finally, another good thing about faith is that faith can bring fellowship. If you find others who share your faith, having fellowship with others who share a common faith is a great replacement habit for self-destructive, addictive tendencies. So instead of going out to the bar and binge drinking with your friends on the weekend, find a fellowship group at a church or whatever communal setting of people who share the same beliefs and faith as you. Gather. Just find something that you can share in others and partake as part of a group outside of yourself, so you're not stuck in isolation and you're with others who have a faith and some commonality, and this kind of brings, this satisfies an innate need or a longing to belong to something outside of ourselves. So the desire to be part of something, to be part of a group, to be part of the in-group, this is very important for our sense of self-esteem and subjective well-being. So finding fellowship in faith is a great way to replace bad ritual habits that we usually find ourselves in when we're in addiction. So I hope this video finds you well. Give me a like and subscribe. Check out this one for more.